Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is a podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, and this week we're talking about Amethyst Dragons.
1, 2, 3, 4. Shout out to
Welcome, adventurers, to the Dungeoncast.
Hey, Brian.
Hey Will.
How you doing today?
Ready to talk about dragons!
Yes, we are at it again, holding gem dragons under the microscope, one gem at a time.
One gem at a time.
And today's gem is one that used to be worth as much as ruby or gold before its oversaturation of the market from the mines of Brazil in the 1800s caused its perceived value to absolutely plummet. That's right, I'm talking about amethysts.
Yeah,
or more specifically, Amethyst Dragons.
I don't even know why you wrote that. Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows that. Known as the mightiest of all gem dragon kind, amethysts fill a similar niche to gold dragons as far as inter-dragon relations go. All other gem dragons look up to and respect amethyst dragons, whether that be for strength, wisdom, or psionic power.
It was a cool fact.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite facts because the entire gem industry is a fucking facade.
Yes, it is. It's your favorite stone-based fact?
It's my favorite stone-based fact.
Yeah.
Amethyst Dragons are a breed of gem dragon known for their wise and regal manner and their similarity to amethyst. When first hatched, an Amethyst Dragon has scales of dull lavender purple, shaped like naturally formed mineral crystals. On hatchling, these scales are small and opaque, but as they age, they become steadily lighter and even more crystalline in appearance. As the dragon grows, their scales, horns, and wing membranes also become more vibrant and translucent. When the dragon is fully mature, their scales resemble rich purple amethyst crystals, refracting light to take on an inner glow. Their pupils fade with age, making the eyes of an ancient dragon resemble glowing white or pale lavender orbs. Crystalline horns reminiscent of amethyst chunks hover behind their heads, held there by telekinetic force and shifting with their moods.
I love that. That's a very, very cool aesthetic.
Indeed.
You know, I know emerald green is your favorite color.
Mm-hmm.
Royal purple is my favorite color.
That's a good color.
But amethyst is pretty close.
Yeah, it is. It is very close to a royal purple.
So if I had a favorite color dragon, it would probably be this one.
Yeah.
I'll find out more about it, even though I already got a preliminary what for in
I will say royal purple
episode.
Royal purple is very high on my list of colors.
That's a good color.
It's a good color.
It's OG Los Angeles Lakers and Los Angeles Kings. The royal purple is on the uniform.
Yeah, I think of of course, I think of the Roman emperors and royal purple.
Royal purple. Yeah. I got a bag of dice that's royal purple right there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We're close to it.
Indeed. I see it. Want me to lift it up? I'll do it.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what company makes that. I got it on Amazon, but I think it was like King's. I don't know. They got like a little king emblem on it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Cool dice
And
bags.
you're a Kings fan, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
All right, back to Amethyst Dragons. The average hatchling has a 2-foot-long body and 4-foot-long tail, while an adult measures at a length of 53 to 68 feet and a tail length of 46 to 56 feet. The biggest great worms grow to 132 feet long in the body and with tails of 100 feet longer, so they're freaking huge. A dragon egg an amethyst dragon egg, or a dragon egg can be identified as amethyst by the purple tinge seen when held in front of an intense white light, though it shares this trait with shadow dragons and deep dragon eggs as well.
Did we kind of stop doing the metric measurements of stuff, huh?
I mean, we could start integrating. You want to look it up? You want to?
Oh, it's like 30 to 40 meters for the big ones.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know.
Amethyst Dragons, the mightiest of the gem dragons, study and psionically manipulate the fundamental principles of the multiverse, from the force of gravity to the emanations of the outer planes. Their innate psionics give them a measure of control over how physical laws affect them. They defy gravity with flight that doesn't rely solely upon their great wings, and gravitational force empowers both their devastating breath weapon and the exploding amethyst crystals they spit at their foes.
Cool.
Yeah, these guys are pretty fucking badass.
I wonder if it's like hard to vomit up the crystal, you know what I mean? Or are they spitting, they kind of like, puh, you know, or they're like,
I feel like there's like an expectory kind of factor to it.
Yeah, like their teeth are exploding or something like that. That's it. They do like a tongue click, like, and like the excess gem flies from their mouth.
Absolutely.
Their orifice
That sounds
of the
good to me.
face. Yeah.
They are considered to be wise and majestic, even by draconic standards, but they are aloof and pay little heed to the conflicts between forces of mortal kind or the natural world, as they believe them to be but petty squabbles and insignificant events. They are naturally disinclined to violence as well, instead favoring to talk things out rather than fighting, but they consider retreating, ambushing, and hiding to be dishonorable.
Okay.
Amethyst Dragons share a profound fascination with the many worlds and dimensions of the multiverse, and many become scholars of planar lore. Most are especially interested in the way individual dragons manifest unique echoes across those worlds. They also prize understanding of the cosmic forces that emanate from the outer planes, studying the opposing tides of good and evil, chaos and order, so that they can offer counsel to those with the wisdom to accept it. Over their lives, these Amethyst Dragons develop considerable knowledge and understanding of these matters in ways far beyond even most sages.
So all of the gem dragons are studying the multiverse, right?
All the gem dragons seem to have a fascination with I guess you could call it like academic orders, right? So like the greens are academically interested in history and anthropology.
Yeah.
While sapphire dragons are specifically interested in politics and strategy and tactics.
Yeah, so then this specific dragon is the
like
one
philosophy
studying
and
like,
science.
I'm studying the greater cosmos.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They're like philosophical scientists, if you will.
Nice.
The study of the planes and their properties have also made Amethyst Dragons keenly aware of the far realm and its warping effects on the material plane. They loathe the corruption that accompanies such intrusions into the world, making them fierce opponents of the far realm and any creatures warped by its touch. Strangely, though, they are intrigued by and fond of flumphs. These aberrations, which oppose the depredations of mind flayers and other wicked aberrations, remind Amethyst Dragons that allies can be found in the strangest of places.
They're like mean Gordon Ramsay in like cooking shows, and then except they see a flumph, then they're Gordon Ramsay in children's cooking shows.
Yeah,
where he's like so gentle and
he's
kind.
so nice.
He's, except for you, I love you.
To be fair, I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay stuff. He's really not that mean.
No, that's a character he's playing.
And even then, he only plays it on by people who really deserve to be called a donkey.
He seems like a pretty good guy, actually.
He's
when he's not like fucking screaming at people for TV, which is not like a great thing.
Well, that's my point. He doesn't actually scream at people all that often.
No, it's really for his American audiences because that's what gets people. Like,
but even in those shows, he doesn't actually do it. Like the advertisements show him doing stuff that he doesn't really do all that often.
It's definitely magnified for sure.
Yeah. Where was I in these notes?
That's a good question.
It's a great question, right?
Past this
one. Amethyst Dragons make their lairs in caves next to or under secluded pools and lakes. Mountain lakes are best, preferring caverns with at least one entrance submerged underwater. A lair behind a cascading waterfall is ideal, and often a large portion of their lair is also submerged, allowing the dragon to rest in the water and cultivate the fish that are their preferred food. They prize locations with a combination of open space, connecting tunnels, and dead ends to make the most of their natural and magical mobility, using flight and teleportation to navigate obstacles in their lairs.
This is it. This is my favorite dragon. This is it.
They're fucking cool, right?
Yeah. Mountain lake, check. Giant koi fish, check.
Royal purple, check.
Behind a waterfall, check. This is all the places. This is by the gods. This is exactly what I want my life to be like.
Yeah, I know, right? They're
studying
living
the
their
multiverse.
best life. Absolutely.
I invested in Bitcoin in this one at an early enough time where I'm super rich.
Absolutely. Some Amethyst Dragons, though, instead choose to reside on the elemental plane of Earth in caverns carved out of the endless rock. These are comprised of numerous tunnels and chambers bedecked with crystals of all colors of the rainbow.
I definitely like the other one better. That's not necessarily my vibe. It's cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like something I'd go on vacation. Exactly. Yeah.
Amethyst Dragon layers frequently exhibit or develop large and beautiful clusters of amethyst crystals, including massive cathedral geodes split open to show their contents and clusters of crystal points more than a foot in diameter that extend 6 to 10 feet from the interior stone surfaces of the layer. These crystals resonate with the dragon's presence and glow with a soft inner light. The older the dragon, the deeper the purple color of the crystals.
I feel like most places you go, like museums that talk about caves or rocks or whatever, like exhibits of that nature, they always have that fucking giant amethyst, like, you know, concave, like opened up rock. It's like
the open geode.
Huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got like in every room.
Yeah,
got like one of those.
Yes,
it's like a light on it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Let's take a short rest.
Okay. This episode of the Dungeoncast is brought to you by Furhaven from Fate's End. Welcome to the world of Aloria, a place of mystery and danger where adorable characters undertake dangerous quests to protect their families and communities. The main hub of commerce and civilization is the settlement of Furhaven, a large community of hard-working furs from throughout the forests, dark mines, and sunny spaces. Furhaven is an exciting campaign setting for 5th edition, full of colorful characters, magical items, spells, new races, and daring adventures. Would you like to take your kids and beginners on a simple yet intriguing adventure? In addition to the campaign book, they've created a complete box adventure designed specifically for beginner players who started at level 0 and acquire unique items and spells one by one along their journey, step by step, unraveling the complexities of 5e, as your players unravel the mysteries of Furhaven. Interested in sponsoring the show? Reach out to us at thedungeoncast@gmail.com. We've returned.
Indeed we have.
Back at it again.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You look like you were about to say something. Sorry.
I was trying to think of something to say. It just wasn't coming. Like,
All right.
I was just like...
Well, let's talk about Amethyst Dragons. Wait. We usually do a little small, tiny plug of something you
here.
You do it. It's all you.
Check it out. All of it.
Okay.
Patreon?
And
We're
merch
there.
store.
Thank you.
Amethyst Dragons often collect crystals and gems, particularly their namesake, obviously. Stones in raw, polished, or cut forms. They have less interesting coins and precious metals, although many have a fascination with metal items that have a silvery finish. Now, I don't know why. Like, that's so specific, and I feel like there's some reason that I'm not picking up on. Like, why a silvery finish? Why?
What did we miss? Leave it in the comments.
Let us know.
What are we missing here? Because I don't get it either. What does that mean?
Yeah. In addition to material wealth, Amethyst Dragons delight in collecting knowledge and magic dealing with the nature of the planes of existence, cosmic forces, and distant worlds. They prize treasures drawn from different worlds of the material plane, especially magic items and artworks that highlight the unique nature of different worlds. Magic items that allow teleportation or travel between planes, spellbooks filled with similar magic, and treatises examining the nature of the universe, of the multiverse, form the centerpiece of an Amethyst Dragon's hoard.
Okay. Treatises.
Treatises. I think that's like a dissertation. It's like a thesis.
It's probably on a fucking scroll or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, a stone giant scroll, which is like an egg rock with the ribbon stuff going
sure.
with it.
It could totally be that.
You remember that shit.
Absolutely.
I'm very fond of that year. Year of the
Year of the Giants?
Year
the
of
big guy?
the large man.
Yeah, it was a good year.
We theme our years here. Welcome all the new... That's what I should have said at the fucking top of the short rest is welcome everybody that's new to the show. Hi.
Yeah, you should have.
It's a ton of people.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hi. Mwah.
Amethyst Dragons also enjoy collecting treasures with particular scholarly or philosophical value as a part of their hoard, including fine books, scrolls, and carved tablets. Tapestries are woven tomes of embroidered cloth, complex scientific instruments, and religious icons or objects. They're fond of unique and unusual art objects, especially those connected to far-off or long-lost cultures, other planes of existence, or other worlds, and of magic items that allow movement between those planes or worlds. The odd spatial nature of an Amethyst Dragon's lair can sometimes cause items to transpose between one dragon's hoard and the hordes of other of the dragon's echoes, allowing for treasures with a surprising range of origins. Does that make sense to you?
So there's Dragon A in Universe 1.
Yeah.
And in Universe 2, there's Dragon B, which is like similar to Dragon A, but not quite.
Yes.
And so all of their hordes are interlinked. So some of these items will appear in one instead of the other, or will appear simultaneously in all of them. Like, does it vanish from one?
It'll do either.
Oh, sick.
Yes, both.
Dang, one come up for an Amethyst Dragon is a potential come up for
all
the
Amethyst Dragons. Very true.
As long as your name is some variation of Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, Kevon, Coven.
Big Purple Kevin, as they call him.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Large K.
Yeah.
Kevon.
Tiny K, too.
Kev.
Just K.
Just K.
Okay. As seems to be the rule with gem dragons, Amethyst Dragons are a rather aloof and introverted bunch. Though this is not out of a distaste for social interactions, but more for the fact that Amethyst Dragons are busy trying to solve the scientific and philosophical mysteries of the multiverse, and it's easy to lose track of time. The truth is, Amethyst Dragons have neither strong friendships or enmities amongst other dragons. They're neither here nor there about it. They're just busy.
Okay.
While they think copper dragons and silver dragons are a bit foolish, and they dislike red dragons and white dragons due to their fundamental disinclination toward negotiation, Amethyst Dragons are not fundamentally opposed to any creature. In fact, on occasion, Amethyst Dragons mediate in conflicts between feuding dragons and even warring nations of humanoids. On occasion.
Yeah, there's a very none of this matters attitude.
Yes,
going on.
absolutely. Amethyst Dragons are good and dutiful parents to their young, but they feel they should be independent and learn to look out for themselves by the time they are young adult dragons. Families raise clutches of 2 to 5 offspring and are likely to be encountered alone or in such clans. So Amethyst Dragons' Dragon Breath attacks have been all over the place across the editions. Some versions of Amethyst Dragons were said to shriek like banshees, causing sonic damage instead of breathing, an element.
Okay.
Others projected a line of force with concussive effects that could either stun or injure beings caught within. And sometimes, in addition to a line of force, once per day an adult could spit a kind of explosive crystal or faceted gem of violet with a lozenge shape.
That's Kevin with an exclamation point at the end. The first one was like Kevin in all caps.
Absolutely. The current 5e Amethyst Dragon creates a shining bead of gravitational force in its mouth, then releases the energy in a 90-foot cone. This both causes force damage and reduces target speed to 0.
That's Kevin, but the curve, you have to curve the letters to have like a smiley shape.
Oh my
K
gosh.
is big and the E is a little smaller.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
The N is big at the end.
Before we get to the stat block for Amethyst Dragons, let's talk briefly about a named Amethyst Dragon, Eldenser the Lurker.
That's a big letdown.
What is the letdown?
That's not named Kevin.
Kevin the Lurker.
Kevin the Lurker. Oh no, that Kevin's getting arrested for sure.
Contradictory tales told throughout the Forgotten Realms are unclear about whether or not the ancient Amethyst Dragon Eldenser still lives, largely because of the behavior that earned him the epithets, the Lurker, and the worm who hides in blades. Obsessed with observing the world and its creatures, Eldenser developed magic that allows his mind to inhabit the blade of a weapon after his death. He exists now as a draconic shard, a monster we will cover in another episode.
Okay. Hey, quick question about that quote where
Yes.
he's calling it the worm with an O and not a Y?
Yeah, I think that's probably just a typo.
Oh, okay. Worms are different.
Yeah, worms with Y's are different.
Worms are armless, right?
Well, yes. Well, no.
Wait, which one are worms? The legless, armless?
Neither. It just okay. We're talking about just varies wildly on setting, edition, and even like franchise.
And this is a named, so that's
Yeah.
why there could be a variation here.
Y or WYRM in D&D usually just means really fucking old dragon. They're so old, they're so massive, they're considered like above dragon. They're now worms. And a lot of older stuff, they were armless or legless. They were more snake-like.
Yeah, okay.
And that's where that comes from. That comes from like old mythology, like the ancient worms. Why that worm has an O instead of a Y, I think is just a typo.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Interesting.
Yes. Eldenser prefers to the role of silent observer to doing anything that might give away his presence. In this fashion, he has inhabited countless weapons over long years, including many belonging to famous adventurers whose exploits the dragon has seen firsthand. So essentially, this dude is hiding in weapons. He hides in weapons. It's just what he does. There's a monster called the Draconic Shard. It'll get its own episode. It's basically, Eldenser is able to mentally and spiritually project himself after death. So he he doth not die, and now he is a sword. And the thing is, he can go from sword to sword.
Me no dragon, me sword.
Yeah.
Which sword?
Any sword. Yeah. Want to talk about the stat block?
But before we do, tell me, Will, what source book can I find the stat block in?
Fizban.
Fizban's.
Tell me about the Amethyst Dragon.
I'll start with the lair because it's written in that order.
Yeah, sure.
We know where they make their lairs, like big lakes and shit, or big caves. So on initiative count 20, losing initiative ties, the dragon can take one of the following lair actions. The dragon can't take the same lair action 2 rounds in a row. Beguiling Whisper, the dragon telepathically whispers to one creature within range of the dragon's telepathy. The creature must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be charmed by the dragon until initiative count 20 on the next round. A creature charmed this way obeys to the best of its ability any command the dragon issues that isn't directly harmful to the creature. Charmed specifically says a charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. The charmer has advantage on ability checks to interact socially with that creature. Imprisoning Force is the next one. The dragon casts the Force Cage spell using its spell save DC and requiring no spell components. The spell ends early if the dragon uses the lair action again or dies. Force Cage, it's kind of long. It's the 7th level spell. It takes 1 action.
Goddamn.
It's going to last an hour. An immobile, invisible, cube-shaped prison composed of magical force springs into existence around an area you choose within range. The prison can be a cage or a solid box, as you choose. A prison in the shape of a cage can be up to 20 feet on a side and is made from half-inch diameter bars spaced half-inch apart. That seems important. A prison in the shape of a box can be up to 10 feet on a side, creating a solid barrier that prevents any matter from passing through it and blocking any spells cast into or out from the area.
Wait, it can block all matter?
Prison creating a solid barrier that prevents any matter from passing through.
So no air.
No air.
You'll suffocate to death.
You in a box, you in a cage. Let's see. When you cast a spell, any creature that is completely inside the cage's area is trapped. Creatures only partially within the area, or those too large to fit inside the area, are pushed away from the center instead of being blood-eagled until they are completely outside of the area. A creature inside the cage can't leave by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to leave the cage, it must first make a charisma saving throw. On a success, the creature can use that magic to exit the cage. On a failure, the creature can't exit the cage and waste the use of the spell or the effect. The cage also extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel. So you can't use low-level magic to get out of here. And if you try to, you're going to burn a big spell and you might fail it. You can't dispel magic it. Straight up says that.
Nice. Man, this is brutal. So charm one ally, force cage another.
It sounds like you can force cage a couple.
Okay,
right?
maybe.
It's a 20 feet worth of force cage, baby.
Yeah, sure.
Can cast it from 100 feet away, apparently. Spatial Projection is the next lair action. We have the dragon chooses a space it can fit into within the lair. It exists in its own space and the chosen space simultaneously until initiative count 20 on the next round. Whenever it moves or takes an action, it chooses which versions of itself is moving or acting.
Wow.
If an effect or attack can target both of the dragon's spaces at the same time, the dragon is affected only once.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
We got the regional effects. Should I read those?
Yeah.
We're surrounded by a legendary Amethyst Dragon's lair is altered by dragon's magic, creating one or more of the following effects. A background check. Put in your social security number and see what happens. Once per day, the dragon can cast the Legend Lore spell, requiring no components, naming any person, place, or object within 1 mile of the lair.
He can just
as a spell
background
subject.
check you.
Literally just figures out this spell. It takes 10 minutes to cast. It's a 5th level spell. It's instantaneous. Name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named.
It's like he pulls up your Wikipedia page.
Go read the rest of the spell for more specific detail.
He pulls up your Wikipedia page.
Yeah, he pretty much creates a Wikipedia page
about you.
With magic about you. Yeah, just the information that exists in the information plane summoned to the dragon via Starlink. Okay. Crystal Profusion. Amethyst crystals and geodes form along muddy shores and lake beds within 6 miles of the lair.
Okay.
Thriving wildlife, fish and other aquatic beasts reproduce rapidly and thrive in bodies of water within 6 miles of the lair. Foraging in these waters yields twice the usual amount of food. So it's just like salmon breeding season all the time.
Yeah.
Or these koi fish.
And also this is a great river to what was it called originally? Panhandling for gold and stuff.
Yeah, panning.
Yeah, panning for gold. You're panning for amethyst here because it's everywhere.
Yeah,
you can make a good money on living on the outskirts of this thing's region.
Yeah, it doesn't say that the water is really salty here, but it probably is because amethyst dragons make fish horny.
Yeah, sure.
That's what it says.
It does.
Fish and other aquatic beasts reproduce rapidly.
It just makes all the wildlife horny. Oh no!
Just the fish. Just the fish.
If it's aquatic, it says aquatic. So the crocodiles are getting busy too.
The frogs.
And the frogs.
the tapeworms,
The mosquitoes?
the skeeters.
Oh, gosh, this
they're
place
aerial.
sucks.
Are they technically aquatic?
I mean,
They
their
breed
first
in
half of their life is in the water.
As soon as they touch the water, they get horny.
That's horrible.
Watery sight. Water within 6 miles of the lair is a conduit for the dragon's psionic presence, much like the other two dragons, except that was like stone based. As long as that water is salty and fish are fucking in it, this dragon can spy on you with it.
Oh, no.
As an action, the dragon can cast the clairvoyant spell, which I guess I'll read real quick. It's 10-minute casting time, 3rd level spell. It lasts for 10 minutes. You create an invisible sensor within range and location familiar to you, a place you have visited or seen before, like all this nasty water, or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, such as behind a door, around a corner, or in a grove of trees. The sensor remains in place for the duration and it can't be attacked, otherwise interacted with. When you cast a spell, you choose seeing or hearing. You use the chosen sense through the sensor as if you were in its space. As your action, you can switch between those two, seeing and hearing. A creature that can see the sensor, such as a creature benefiting from like seeing visibility or true sight, sees a luminous, intangible orb about the size of its fist. If the dragon dies, the populations, the fish get unhorny. They go back to a normal level of horniness in 1d10 days. The existing abundance of amethyst remains, but new crystals and geodes form at a normal rate.
Okay.
The fishing won't be so great anymore. We got the stat block here. We got this ancient amethyst dragon. Is that the one I'm reading?
Yep, that's the one you're reading.
Okay. It's ancient. It's amethyst. It's a dragon. Gargantuan dragon made of gem, typically neutral, with an AC natural armor of 20. 444 hit points. Speed is 40 feet. Fly is 80 feet of hover.
Nice.
It's like psionic, right?
Yeah.
And it can swim at 40-foot speed. That's monstrous.
I wonder if that's psionic too. The swim.
The swim, like it makes like
It
sort of
just
a
goes
bubble.
Yeah, or
around
that,
it.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Well, it would like perceptively look like a bubble, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it'd
absolutely.
Just be psychic. Saving throws: dexterity +9, constitution +15, wisdom +11, charisma +13. Skills: arcana +22. What a beefy check. Perception +18, pretty beefy as well. Persuasion +13, and stealth +9. It's just these giant dragons sneaking up on you is horrifying. +9 is a lot.
Yeah.
Damage resistance: force and psychic. It is immune to being frightened or being prone, so you can't knock it down. Can't knock this dragon down.
It's got hover. That's usually typical with hover creatures.
Yes, it does. Parentheses hover up there. Senses: blind sight 60 feet, dark vision 120. Passive perception is 28. Damn, with all that nasty soup that it can see through too. It's very perceptive. They're gonna know you coming. Common, draconic, telepathy at 120 feet for languages.
So that telepathy, 120 feet, that means that charm ability of its lair, that's 120 feet. You have to cross and it can charm you along the way.
Yeah, cool, real cool. You gotta watch out for your homies starting to act like real suspicious. Like, guys, maybe we shouldn't go over here. I think I'm gonna sit right here until you all change your mind. Like, Dale, you were talking about fucking killing this
You
thing.
hate dragons, Dale.
They killed your papa. Dale, you forget? We got amphibious. The dragon can breathe both air and water. Nice, good one. 3 times a day, the dragon fails a saving throw. It can just not fail it.
Leisure resistance.
Save it instead. Yep. Multi-attack. The dragon makes 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks. That bite is going to be a +15 to hit at a reach of 15 feet. That's a lot. 1 target. It's going to hit for 19 or 2d10 +8 piercing damage +13 or 3d8 force damage. Force damage is good. Claw is going to be melee weapon attack with +15 to hit with a reach of 10 feet, which is still pretty good. 1 target, it's going to hit for 15 or 2d6 +8 slash. Singularity breath. Oh boy, that's a scary name.
Indeed.
I fire a double pendulum out of my mouth. All of its points are plotted instantly.
Oh no.
The dragon creates a shining bead of gravitational force in its mouth. It's a bijou bomb. Then releases the energy in a 90-foot cone. Jesus. Each creature in that cone must make a DC 23 strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 63 or 14d8 force damage, and its speed becomes 0 until the start of the dragon's next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage, and its speed isn't reduced. So this could just lock everybody in place.
Yep.
Neato. That's going to recharge on a 5 or 6 on a d6. Spellcasting Psionics. The dragon casts one of the following spells requiring no spell components and using intelligence as the spellcasting ability. Spell save DC is 23 with a plus 15 to hit with spell attacks. Once a day, this thing can blink, control water, dispel magic, freedom of movement, globe of invulnerability. What the fuck is that? 6th level spell. Immobile. Oh my god, I can't read all these. Plane shift, protection from evil and good, and sending. These all seem like pretty powerful spells.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Especially when it can just like cage a dude.
Yeah. No, it's those layer actions are very impressive.
Then breathe on it. Breathe on a fool. Bonus actions. We got change shape. The dragon magically transforms into any creature that is medium or small while retaining its game statistics. Fake Heron gone. Other than its size, it maintains its other stats.
Right.
This transformation ends if the dragon is reduced to 0 hit points or uses a bonus action to end it. Which are damn. Psychic step. The dragon magically teleports to an unoccupied space it can see within 60 feet. It's Misty Step, but twice as good. Legendary actions.
That's a bonus action to do that?
That was just a bonus action. Yep. Psychic step.
Wow.
Any spell that has the word step in it is usually pretty good. The dragon can take 3 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Only 1 legendary action option can be used at a time, and only at the end of another creature's turn. The dragon regains its spent legendary actions at the start of its turn. So, Claw. The dragon makes 1 claw attack.
That's pretty standard.
Psionics costs 2 actions. The dragon uses Psychic Step or Spellcasting.
Now, yeah, that's a pretty good one for legendary action, just because it's like your players are probably planning their next move based off what's happening right now, and then in the middle of that round, suddenly the dragon's in a different location.
It disappears. Or, like, it could cast Blink with that, too. It could cast any of these spells once a day. So if it hasn't cast any of the spells yet, it just can do it at the end of your turn. So, yeah, very disruptive. Explosive Crystal costs 3 actions.
Yeah, this one. I like this one.
The dragon spits on you. Belittles you with his actions. That amethyst that it spits out is going to explode at a point it can see within 60 feet of it. Each creature within a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must succeed on a DC 23 dexterity saving throw or take 18 or 4d8 force damage and be knocked prone.
Nice.
That's like Hollow Knight. There's like those creatures that shoot these little pink crystal shards and they like create like a little flower bed of crystals or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And sometimes, I think those explode sometimes.
Nice.
Got like...
There's a similarity there for sure.
Nailed to like fucking... Ding.
I haven't really played Hollow Knight.
I got to the end... Oh, it's a pretty good game.
That's what I've heard.
I got to the end of the stat block, Will.
You did?
What do I do?
Any questions about Amethyst Dragons?
Seems super dope.
Yeah, they're really strong. They're the king of gem dragons. They're very powerful, and they got really dope shit.
Do you think the fish are into it?
Yeah, they're definitely into it. It'd be
know.
weird if they weren't.
Do you think they know why?
No, they have no idea why they're fish.
I don't know. Ever since I got to this lake, I've been so horny.
But the good thing is, so is everyone else.
But everyone else
so
is too.
So it works.
Why are we so horny all the time?
All right, let's take a long rest.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the long rest. Fun fact, Will takes his long rest standing up and his coffee with no sugar.
Neither of those facts are true.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're taking this short rest standing up.
I am trying to, yes.
You're adjusting your microphone to accommodate.
Yep. Okay. I am standing. It's true.
We actually record episodes in batches of 3 typically,
we do.
unless
and
we
by
run out
the
of
third
time.
one, my back wants to snap in half, so I'm standing up.
Yes, I stood up once during all of this, and I regretted not standing up more frequently. If I had an Apple Watch, it would have told me to get the hell up. Anyway, thank you for listening to the show. We love you.
Thank you. We do love you.
And this one's for your ears.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what do we got here on the docket, Will? A checklist?
Patreon.
Patreon. Hello.
Thank you, patrons.
Welcome to it. Thank you for being a part of the show. You can be more part of the show and experience more show at Patreon, where we have actual plays at like over 100 hours worth.
Early episodes without ads.
Ranger Danger. Forgot about Ranger
OST
Danger.
music's in there.
Oh yeah, all the OST from Super Quest Saga is there current to the last completed arc.
And there's what's the word I'm looking for? There is one-of-a-kind, exclusive merchandise that you get gifted at certain tiers.
Yeah, do you like merchandise? We thought you might, so we made some special ones just for you. If you get in there, though. So we're thinking about making some changes on Patreon pretty soon in the next upcoming months. So I guess keep an eye on that.
Also, if you guys really support us on Patreon, help me quit my job, there will be a lot more on Patreon.
Yeah, that's the thing is like we're trying to make it so all we do is podcast and make content and like just really give ourselves to the community, body, mind, and soul. And to do that, we take Patreon donations and like upgrade our equipment to try and make the show more popular and stuff like that. We making moves to try and like not be corporate slaves and do what we love, which is like writing and making music. And you guys help us do that, especially by donating on Patreon, like just telling people about the show. The more awareness of the show, the better. So a couple of ways you can do that without having to like donate money would be to leave an Apple podcast review, a Spotify review, or whatever podcasting app you're on.
Yeah.
Or if you're watching on YouTube, leave
Comments,
comment.
like, subscribe. Tell a friend.
Tell your mom's friends.
Definitely tell them.
Tell your mom. Hey, I got a checklist, so I don't have to stall. Merch store. We have a regular merch store.
A spread shop.
Spread shop, where they make spread shirts and spread mugs. Mason jar mugs that are out of stock.
But they won't be forever.
They're not forever. Eventually, they're going to get mugs, and you can get prints of our art that we commissioned for stuff to put on that. I really love our Dungeoncast logo. It's definitely like, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah,
We've had a couple. You know, I'm sure if you're savvy,
if you're a long-time fan, you've seen the branding change over the years.
Yeah, we just keep moving forward. You see Meet the Robinsons, right? Not like a huge, like, you know, it's like Walt Disney's mottos. Keep moving forward.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that was like his thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so they made Meet the Robinsons based off of that, which is one of my favorite Disney movies, actually.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
You never heard of Meet the Robinsons?
No,
I can understand not having watched it. It's not
No.
the most popular movie.
No, I haven't heard of
But
it.
it's a sleeper. It's very, very good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You haven't seen, I'm sure you've seen the promo where he's like, I have a big head and little arms. It's the T-Rex trying to eat the kid.
No.
The kid hides catty corner on a building,
Uh-huh.
and a T-Rex is chasing him. That's
Yeah.
being mind controlled. Goes to eat him, and he can't because his head is in the way.
Okay,
he's in
for
the,
sure.
He's in the like little triangle, you know, the prism.
Yeah,
that
sure.
is created in the empty space of like a building.
Yes.
On a corner.
Okay,
it's-
gotcha. He can't get to him.
It goes to bite him, and it can't. And he's like, "Why aren't the bad guy that's mind controlling?" He's like, "Why aren't you seizing the boy?" He's like, "I have a big head, and little arms."
No, I have never seen this.
It's a very good movie. You
Okay,
should watch it.
maybe I'll check it out.
Disney Plus it or something if they have it.
Cool beans.
Yeah, that's my motto on the show. Will's never heard of it, but it's been my motto
But
since
I
the
believe
beginning.
it.
Always, it just translates into always improve, and we are always improving and always making
Always,
changes.
yes,
and we do that with help from you guys. So when you guys give us resources, we allocate those back into the show to make it a better thing. And when you guys give us feedback, we take that seriously. So thank you guys over the years so much for making the show what it is today. Which is like a constantly improving product. I'm really proud of it.
I am as well.
I'm proud of you guys.
I am as well.
I'm proud of our love.
I am as well.
And I'm proud of all the writers for Fizban's Treasury of Dragons.
Yes.
Good job. We'll call it a game.
Let's call it a game. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
The Dungeoncast.